Imagine being able to access vital legal documents and court records from Douglas, Georgia, completely for free, without ever having to leave your couch. Seriously, not a single dime spent. Whether you're researching your own family history, maybe running a personal background check, or you're just plain curious about local history, we have got you covered today. Welcome to This Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to be your guide on this deep dive.
Okay, so let's get right into it. We all know that navigating government databases can sometimes feel a bit like trying to solve a maze, blindfolded, right? But what if I told you that you could completely bypass all that bureaucratic red tape? Think of this explainer as a quest to uncover public history. There is literally a massive wealth of information sitting right at your fingertips. And the absolute best part is that finding the index of these records is totally free, as long as you know exactly where to look.
So here is our treasure map for today. We're going to systematically work our way through decoding Douglas County courts, your online search toolkit, navigating fees and hurdles, rules, privacy and limits, beyond the digital portals, and we'll wrap up with final tips and a quick disclaimer.
All right, Part 1, Decoding Douglas County Courts.
So, to start, we really need to understand how the county divides up its legal life, because it is definitely not just one big filing cabinet. The primary hub here is the Clerk of Superior and State Court. This is an elected office held by Madam Clerk Annetta Danley Stembridge, and get this, her office is the custodian of records dating all the way back to 1871. It's like a giant historical puzzle. Now, Superior Court handles the heavy hitters. We're talking felonies, divorces, real estate disputes. State Court, which is actually in the exact same building on Hospital Drive, handles criminal misdemeanors and traffic citations. Meanwhile, you've got the Magistrate Court dealing with smaller issues like evictions and small claims, and the Probate Court handles wills and estates. Knowing exactly which court handles what is step 1 to finding your records.
Moving right along to Part 2, your online search toolkit. Now, let's dive into the actual digital portals you'll be using. You want to stick to these official state and county platforms. For Superior and State Court cases, you've got the official web search portal and Peach Court. If you're hunting for an eviction or a small claim, you're going to head over to the dedicated Magistrate Court Civil Records portal. And for real estate and liens, you'll use the COT Systems eSearch portal. By sticking strictly to these official gateways, you get completely cost-free index and calendar tracking. You absolutely want to avoid those commercial third-party platforms that demand your credit card just to do a basic name search.
Okay, let's look at a practical example of how you actually execute this. Say you're doing a background check on a potential contractor to work on your house, or maybe you're looking up an old civil dispute involving a family member. Step 1, you pick the portal. If it's a general civil case, you'll probably go to the Douglas County Web Search portal. Step 2, you type in their name. Step 3, you check the active docket that pops up. It's really that straightforward once you know the path. But wait, there's one very specific trick you absolutely must know before you start typing.
This is absolutely crucial, guys. When you are using the official web search portal for Superior and State Courts, you have to format your search exactly like this. Last name, comma, space, first name. So if you just go in and type John Doe, you might get 0 results and just assume the guy has a totally clean record. No, you have to type Doe John. It's a tiny technical detail straight from the clerk's website, but it is literally the difference between a successful search and a super frustrating dead end.
Which brings us to Part 3, Navigating Fees and Hurdles.
Before you even start searching, we have to clear up a massive geographic hurdle. You would not believe how many researchers accidentally end up in the completely wrong time zone. Douglas County, Georgia is located in Douglasville on Hospital Drive. But there's also a very prominent Douglas County in Colorado, headquartered in Castle Rock under Clerk Andy Truitt. They have entirely different systems, totally different fee structures, so always double-check your browser to make sure you aren't accidentally hunting for records in the Rockies.
All right, let's talk about the money. Searching the indexes, like just seeing that a case actually exists, checking the dates, grabbing the case number, that part is entirely free on portals like Peach Court and the county web search. But, and this is a big but, if you want to actually download the official file-stamped PDF of a court document, that's not free. Under statutory rules, platforms like Peach Court charge 50 cents per page for document retrieval, plus a little convenience fee. So the smart strategy here is to use the free index to hunt down exactly what you need, and then only pay for the specific pages you truly require.
Now for Part 4, Rules, Privacy, and Limits. You might be wondering, what actually gives us the right to look at all these documents from the comfort of our living room? Well, it's the Georgia Open Records Act.
This legal framework legally guarantees your fundamental right as a citizen to inspect public records at a reasonable time and place. The baseline assumption here is that government business is public business.
However, obviously, there are strict exceptions in place to protect personal privacy and safety. You are not going to find juvenile court cases floating around on the public web search portal. Sealed criminal files, certain corporate trade secrets, and vital records, like birth and death certificates, are legally walled off from these general public portals. For those, you have to go through specialized, heavily restricted channels. It's just a boundary we have to respect.
Let's look at Part 5, Beyond the Digital Portals.
So what if you're looking for non-judicial county records, say county commissioner meeting notes or administrative data? Douglas County is actually implementing a brand new system called Just FOIA, which becomes effective on March 30, 2026. This new portal is going to let you securely submit, track, and receive digital responses to your open records requests. Just keep in mind, this doesn't replace the court databases we just talked about. It's specifically for administrative county government operations.
And sometimes the internet just isn't enough and you actually have to leave the house. If you need police incident reports or jail booking data, you've got to submit those requests directly to the Sheriff's Office Records Division. If you want to view historical wills and estates for free, you can just go in person to the probate court. And here's a great tip. If you want to view entire full document court files without paying that 50 cents a page download fee, you can just visit the Public Access Terminals, or PATs, located directly at the Douglas County Courthouse on Hospital Drive. Viewing them on the screen right there in the courthouse is completely free. You only pay standard print fees if you decide you want a hard copy to take home.
Finally, Part 6, Final Tips and Disclaimer.
Okay, I do have to give you the mandatory disclaimer here. This explainer is intended for educational purposes only. Things like legal procedures, portal web addresses, statutory fees, and data accessibility, those are all subject to change over time. Please always verify the current rules and procedures directly with the Douglas County Clerk's Office, or consult with appropriate legal professionals before making any big decisions based on public records. And hey, if you run into tech trouble or get stuck, don't forget you can always reach out to awesome local resources like libraries or the Court Clerk's Help Desk for support.
So, now that you are fully armed with this toolkit, what hidden history are you going to uncover in the public record? Whether it's verifying a potential business partner, digging deep into your own family's past, or just trying to understand how your local justice system really operates, the doors are wide open for you. Jump onto those Douglas County portals and start exploring today. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy searching.